Quick story time about the 8th grade, because I bumped into somebody who I shared a class with during that time. And then they were just like, oh, you remember that? And I was like, ha! I was trying not to. Anyway, this story starts with 2 kids that I ended up going to school with. Both of them wanted to try to be bullies to me, but I beat both of them up. And when I tell you that right after both of those fights, they were stuck to me like fucking glue. It was so annoying. I was told that the best way to defeat a bully is to find out who their friends are and then try to be friends with them so that the bully has no choice but to be nice to you. But I've known how to fight since the age of 5, so that really wasn't an issue. But my only problem was I didn't think that right after I beat them up, they were gonna start trying to be friends with me. I just wanted them to leave me the fuck alone. They already fucking picked on me for months because I tried to cut my own hair and I had patches in my... That's a different story. That's a completely different story. I'll tell you that one later. These people already gave me hell, and now they want to just fucking, bump elbows with me in the gymnasium. It's just... Anyway, school dance. 8th grade dance comes around, and, I go into the gymnasium, and I see both of these motherfuckers arguing about the most trivial of shit. Both of them had a crush on a girl named Bianca, and this girl was way out of their league. Way out of their league. And she transferred schools before she even got to fucking high school. So I don't even know why the fuck they didn't know. They didn't know. They didn't know. I knew somehow. So they start arguing, going back and forth. They were treating this shit like it was prom, right? So they were just like, oh, are you going to take her out? He's like, no, I was thinking about taking her out. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to squeeze right by you guys. And right as I was trying to squeeze right through them, one of them tried to turn the microphone over to me and was just like, well, who do you think she's going to take over to the dance? And I was just like, do I look like Bianca? I don't know. But they were persistent as fuck. They looked at me and they were like, well, who do you think she would take to the dance? The only reason these motherfuckers even asked me this question is because not only was I a diplomat in high school, I was a diplomat in middle school. I had no problem talking to any and everyone in every single class, including females, teachers, other forms of faculty, all the other boys. I had no problem with that. And they knew that I was going around in multiple circles, and they knew that at some point I was going to be able to bump elbows with Bianca. And there was no possible way that I was going to be like, boys, you're both great. There was no way that I was going to be able to say that to save my ass. One of them looked at me and was just like, you are going to go and meet up with her during lunch, and you're going to ask her about, is she going to bring me, Isaiah, or that dude, Joshua? You ask her. So there I am at lunch, searching for Bianca like the crocodile hunter is looking for a new species of snake. I finally get to the same table with her, and I just start peppering it in. I was just like, hey, well, who do you think about taking to the dance? She looked at me and was just like, take? What do you mean by that? I was like, surely you like boys. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, well, there's a few friends of mine who would love to take you to the dance, formal like. And she was like, oh, well, I never really thought of it that way. And I was just like, girls. I knew damn well she knew what I was talking about. And she was just playing coy, and that was starting to fucking annoy the hell out of me. Anyway, but then I got the brilliant idea to try to interject a random guy into her direction, because both, Isaiah and Joshua, they wanted Bianca. But I figured, if I bring another guy in and just like, hey, how about him? These guys will leave me alone and then get mad at that guy and bully him. That was my intention. So I was just like, how about Jasper? How about you take Jasper to the dance with you? She started shrugging her shoulders. No. Got up, walked away. That was the end of that conversation. So I'm thinking, okay, I've planted the seed. I've done my part. I can fucking go away. Literally a week later, a day before the dance, I'm sitting next to Bianca and a whole bunch of other kids during breakfast time, and Isaiah and Joshua both just barge into the fucking lunchroom like the Men in Black. They want answers, goddammit. They have been munching over this shit for a fucking week, and they've been quiet for the longest amount of time. Seriously, neither one of them have said anything for an entire week. I'm starting to get fucking worried. That was like in between time, but I'm still, you know, kind of cool that I'm able to sit at a fucking table with my friends instead of just two strangers who wanted to be friends with me because I beat them up. But at this point, they are fucking livid. They literally come up to me and Bianca. Hey, what did she say? I'm like, she didn't say shit. She didn't say shit. She's right here. Why don't you ask her? But we asked you to ask her to get some answers. At this point, I'm stuck in between a rock and a hard place because it's just like, I could easily ask her right now, but she's so embarrassed that she's crumpled up into a little fucking ball. I already mentioned Jasper, but Bianca wasn't taking the bait, so I'm hanging on for dear life right now. Then out of nowhere, Bianca just shuts everybody up and was just like, okay, I'll tell you. I want to go to the dance with Alex. Alex? You want to go to the dance with a guy who has openly said that he does not like girls. He's still in the no girls allowed phase of his life. And you... Meanwhile, Alex is dying of embarrassment. Face all red, about to swallow his tongue, looking around for somebody to save him. And then he looks at me. I'm just like, I guess you win the prize. Alex immediately runs into the nearest bathroom, bawling his eyes out. And at this point, I'm like, yo, should I get a teacher? Should I go after him? I'm gonna go after him. Little did I know, Joshua and Isaiah were right behind me. So I get into the bathroom and I'm just like, yo, Alex, are you okay? And he's just, I didn't want to be a part of this. And then right behind me, I hear Joshua, hey man, it's okay, man. Holy fuck, where'd you come from? Then Isaiah starts talking to Joshua. Well, I guess you didn't want either one of us. And Joshua's like, well, the best man won, I guess. And I'm just like, you bitches were about to go to war. Is this the fucking end of an episode of Sesame Street? You motherfuckers were literally planning war tactics on each other over this one girl. Now it's kumbaya. I was the only one who left that bathroom confused. All three of them ended up being lifelong friends. One of them bumped into me yesterday while I was with my son. It was just like, hey, remember? And I was just like, oh. And the crazy thing about this to me was that we were going to go to a dance where we were going to be listening to Juvenile's Back That Ass Up on repeat. But we're middle schoolers, so we can't hear that version. So we listened to the Kids Bop version. Back that thing up. Girl, you look good, won't you? Back that thing up. You's a fine mother flipper, won't you? Back that thing up. Call me Big Daddy, will you? Back that thing up. Girl, who's you playing with? Back that thing